Have you ever really stopped to think about what it takes to open a door at your job? I mean, really think about it? What if I told you that simple act is turning into one of the most important data points for a modern business? Yeah, it's not just about a lock and a key anymore. We're talking about efficiency, security, and real operational intelligence. And over the next few minutes, we're going to break down why the future of work literally begins right at the front door.
So, here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll look at how the humble door suddenly got a brain. Then we'll get into why the most powerful key you have is probably in your pocket right now. After that, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible intelligence of AI and biometrics, see how it all connects into a smart campus, and finally, get a glimpse of what a truly frictionless future of work actually looks and feels like.
All right, let's dive right in. First up, this massive transformation of a simple doorway. We're going from just a physical barrier to an intelligent hub for the entire business.
Remember the old way? Oh man, paper logbooks, waiting around at reception while somebody makes a phone call, dealing with lost badges. It was just slow, clumsy, and honestly, not very secure. But now, look at the 2026 way. A single person arriving can trigger instant identity checks, automate permissions, create a perfect digital audit trail, and send out real-time notifications. The difference isn't just an upgrade. It's like comparing a horse-drawn carriage to a self-driving car. It's a whole new world.
And this isn't just theory, right? Let's look at a real-life example. Picture a contractor showing up at a factory, super early, maybe 6:45 a.m. Instead of fumbling with paper forms, they just scan a code, review the site instructions on their phone, and boom, their host is automatically notified. They get the right permissions for the right zone instantly. It's the same front door, but a much, much smarter process.
So if the door now has the brain, what's the key? Well, like I said, it's probably in your hand or your pocket as we speak. We are talking about the massive shift away from those plastic badges to the one device that pretty much never leaves our side, our smartphone.
For a visitor, the whole journey just becomes incredibly smooth. They can pre-register online before they even leave the house. When they show up, they just scan a QR code. Instantly, the person they're there to see gets a notification, and access is granted for the specific areas they need to be in. It's not just efficient. Think about how much more professional and welcoming that feels. No more awkward waiting around, just a seamless, modern experience from the get-go.
And for business leaders, this is where it gets really practical. I mean, we're talking fewer lost key cards to replace, and if you've ever managed a building, you know what a relentless headache and budget drain that is. You can update someone's credentials in a heartbeat if their role changes. Giving temporary access to contractors is clean and simple. It just means you're way less dependent on all those manual, time-sucking processes. Okay, so beyond the phone in your hand, there's an even deeper layer of intelligence at work. Now let's explore the powerful, and yeah, sometimes controversial, roles of biometrics and artificial intelligence. You know, biometrics is one of those topics that gets people talking, and for good reason. On one hand, you have the promise of incredible precision. For high security spots, think labs, data rooms, government sites, a facial scan or a fingerprint is a powerful extra layer of verification. But on the other hand, there's the peril of privacy. This tech creates some very real risks, from surveillance to massive data breaches of our most personal info, if it's not governed with extreme care. And hey, this isn't just some hypothetical worry. The European Data Protection Board put it in black and white, stating that biometric data creates heightened risks for people's rights and freedoms. It's exactly why robust rules like GDPR are so important, and why the smartest companies use biometrics selectively, matching the level of security to the actual risk, not just slapping it everywhere. Which brings us to AI. Now, its role here isn't the dramatic sci-fi movie stuff. Just think of it as a quiet, incredibly powerful pattern recognition engine. AI is like the silent partner, the co-pilot, helping security teams see things in a vast sea of data that a human might totally miss. So what does AI actually do? Well, it's not magic. It's looking for things that just don't fit the normal pattern. Things like repeated failed entry attempts at one door, someone trying to get in at a really weird time of night, or maybe someone's movement just looks off, like they're jumping awkwardly between secure zones without going through the proper channels. The system learns what normal looks like, so it can instantly flag anything that deviates. It's all about finding the signal in the noise. Now, this kind of intelligence is really powerful on its own, but it becomes an absolute game changer when access control stops being siloed off. When you connect it with all the other campus systems, it goes from a simple security gate to a core operational tool. Think about it. In an emergency evacuation, an integrated system knows exactly who is in which building, right now. That's critical information for first responders.
So when you bring all these systems together, you get this unified dashboard that can answer critical questions in a snap. But what are those questions? What are the things that really matter for running a safe and efficient site?
This is where the rubber really meets the road. You can see who is on site right now in an emergency. You can spot which areas are seeing weird traffic patterns. You can find the bottlenecks where approval processes are slowing people down. And get this, you can even check if a contractor's safety certification is up to date before they're allowed into a hazardous area. These aren't just security questions anymore. This is about operational excellence and total safety assurance.
This is also where the hardware itself starts talking. We're talking about smart locks and a new wave of sensors. It's all part of the Internet of Things, or IoT. These devices do way more than just open doors. They're constantly feeding back data on how rooms are being used. They can alert you if a secure door is propped open. They basically give you a real-time map of how your facility is flowing. Your physical building becomes a source of intelligence. Okay, let's bring all of this together. We've seen the tech, we've seen the intelligence, we've seen the integration. So what does this all really mean for the future of how we work? If you remember anything from this, remember these key points. Mobile first isn't just a trend, it's the new normal. Managing this stuff from the cloud is what gives you consistency across all your sites. And the true business value? That gets unlocked through integration. But here's the most important thing. The absolute best systems reduce friction for everybody, making daily life easier. But they do it without ever weakening security or compliance. The goal is to make the right way the easiest way. And here's one final piece of practical advice. When you're looking at these systems, the total cost of ownership is so much more than just the price tag. You have to include the admin time, the effort it takes to stay compliant, and the very real cost of a bad visitor experience. A clunky, frustrating system can directly impact employee morale, not to mention the first impression it makes on a client. The simplest, most intuitive solution is almost always the best investment in the long run. And that leaves us with one final big question to chew on. When physical entry becomes this smart, this seamless, and this connected, what does it really mean to be at work anymore?